Welcome to Pera's Playbook. This is your host, Alex Pera. Let's open up our playbook and see who our guest is. Please enjoy. Welcome to episode 199 of Pera's Playbook. Today we're joined by Emma McGuane. She's a former college hockey player. We're going to talk a little bit about her college hockey career and some other stuff. So we're happy to have Emma here today. How's it going?
It's going good. Can't complain, you know?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. It's I'm hoping that this will go smooth, right? This is not the usual setup, So if the audio sounds bad, I apologize to anybody because we're just going off my phone. My setup wouldn't work. Technology has a funny way of getting in the way. I mean, it's awesome when it works, but when it doesn't work, it's a real pain.
I agree.
I don't know what it is with Zoom too. Like sometimes Zoom is just the best, and other times I just like want to just take Zoom out and oh man, it's so aggravating.
Oh, I know. I've been doing the Zoom thing for way too long now.
Yeah, you think like they'd have it figured out, right? Like there should be no bugs because ever since COVID, the world like lives on Zoom, but I guess not.
Nope, never.
So let's start with your hockey journey, kind of go back and like when did you start playing hockey? How old were you?
Okay, so I started playing hockey when I was like 7 or 8 years old. My dad worked in college hockey like since the day that I was born. He worked for RPI, Rensselaer Polytechnic Institute in Troy, New York, which is a Division I school, and he worked there from since I was 2002 to like just recently. He just left RPI, and he was doing equipment managing stuff there, and so I kind of like grew up around hockey. And my older brother, he played hockey. He was a hockey goalie, so yeah, like I pretty like I feel like I started at like maybe an older age for hockey players, but I never really wanted to like do it like the playing hockey thing. I liked the skating, like doing my own thing, and then like there was a certain point where it kind of clicked, and I was like, oh, actually, this doesn't look as bad. It's a little aggressive, but like still looks fun. So yeah, it was yeah, definitely around like 7 or 8, I think.
So initially, not crazy interest in hockey, but then you end up playing it in college, and like it turns into a huge part of your life.
Yes.
That's kind of funny. Well, I feel like that's how it is. Like when we're kids too. Sometimes, like our parents are like, "Hey, maybe you want to try this," and you're just kind of, "How about no?" Like I'd rather just like I know when I was a kid, my parents tried to get me into all kinds of stuff, and I'd be like, you know what? I'd rather just play at home. And then like later in life, as I grew up, I was like, well, I wish I would have done that because now I love doing it or whatever it is. Golf's one of them. Totally obsessed now. Didn't want to touch it when I was a kid. Could care less.
No, that's exactly how I was with so many things. But I think like me being around hockey so much, like seeing all the aspects of it, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm like with my brother being a goalie, he always like asked me to shoot on him like when we're either playing like knee hockey or street hockey or whatever. And so I was like, okay, maybe shooting things at my brother isn't so bad.
Yeah. So when you're shooting on your brother, I mean, how often are you scoring? How often is he stopping you?
it it's always, I mean, he tries so hard against me. Like I see him out there and I'm like, oh gosh, like I'll always chirp him like, I can't believe you got scored on. And he's like, well, at least you're not scoring on me, because like literally I remember he used to come out to practices all the time with me whenever like a team needed a goalie, because goalies like back then, they no one ever wanted to play goalie, so he was always out there. And I remember like any shootouts, any like 2-on-1s, 2-on-0s, anytime I had the puck, oh, he's just making those crazy saves like this, like oh, going into the full splits. Like I never was scoring on him ever.
Well, you can't let your younger sister beat you, right? Like sibling rivalry goes too deep.
Oh yeah, definitely, for sure. Especially with the two of us, yes.
See, I'm an only child, so I never experienced that sibling rivalry with anything.
Oh yeah, well, it's can be fun, but sometimes like they're the type of people that can really get under your skin no matter what you're doing. Like it could be just a fun friendly game. No, it has to like turn into a bloodbath, it's crazy.
Right. And siblings always want to outdo, like if you're the younger sibling, you know what your older sibling's done, so now you've got to try to be better than they have.
Of course. Of course.
And if you're the older sibling, you're not going to take it easy on your younger sibling. You're not going to give them like, no, no, you don't give them a 5 second head start in the race.
Never. Never.
It's all bragging rights with siblings.
I know. It's crazy.
So let's talk recruiting a little bit. When did you started to like get recruited for college hockey? Well, how old were you when people started like, or I guess maybe even before recruiting, like when did you start to realize like, hey, maybe this is something that I can continue to do after school?
Yeah, so when I was in 8th grade, I was still playing boys hockey, so I think I was about like 12 in 8th grade. And I had a friend I was playing with the year above me, so I was playing with like 13-year-olds. So that was freshman in high school, boys hockey. And a lot of them were in high school going to different schools, going to private schools or going to the public schools, playing on high school teams. And there was a school in my area called Albany Academy, and it's like a private school, but it's not. It's just a day school, and they had prep school hockey, part of the NEPSAC league, for boarding schools and stuff like that. And my a player on my team, they were beginning to start a girls program there, and they had talked to me about maybe going to the private school and playing. And I was like, oh, I didn't really know that like girls hockey was that big, that like there's even like girls teams around me, because I there was literally no girls teams. I was playing boys hockey all my life. And so it was when I started to go to private school. I played 2 years at Albany Academy, and then I ended up going to a boarding school. And I was like, okay, wow, like there's a lot of opportunities outside of my like small town hockey clubs, and even just like the schools that I had seen in the past. And obviously, like I grew up around college hockey, so I knew that like it was a thing, but I didn't know how competitive the steps before it was going into like the AAA hockey, boarding school hockey, junior hockey, anything like that. And so I think like around my sophomore year, when I wanted decided to make the transition into boarding school, is when I like really knew like, oh wow, I can like go play college hockey and like actually do this, and maybe like get a scholarship somewhere or continue to play. Um, and then my dad kind of he already knew the ins and outs of the recruiting process because he is around it all the time with coaches and stuff like that. And um, it was to the point where I was a little bit behind to like try to go like D1 or something like that, because at that point D1 hockey players got recruited in like 8th grade, so like you kind of had to know like when you're like before you even know what you want to do for your living, you gotta like know what school you're gonna go to, which I think is like always is crazy. But I had a friend who like committed to BC when she was in the 8th grade, which I couldn't have even thought about when I was in the 8th grade. Um, but then like what my junior year, when I was at my boarding or where I was at boarding school at Huzak school, I was like, okay, I can start looking at schools, maybe some like newer D1 programs like Sacred Heart or LIU, the teams who are in that like newer conference, or I could look at D3 schools. And so like I kind of went like the D3 route, and like with D3 you kind of reach out to coaches yourself. They don't really come to you unless you reach out to them first, because you can't get a scholarship to go to a D3 school. So they don't really have much to offer other than, hey, come play for me. I'm a really good coach. And which, like, a lot of them are really good coaches and they have really good programs. But when you go D3, it's more about you're a student athlete. You're student first, athlete second. And that's what most of the recruiting style for D3 is like, is you kind of go for the school and then you go the recruiting way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it's it's really interesting. I mean, every sport, I find it interesting, like the recruiting, how it's different, right? For like basketball or people that play volleyball, hockey, like football, whatever it is, like when you start recruiting is different, how you get recruiting, and then like you were talking about the different levels, right? Like Division 1 coaches, if you're a star, they're gonna reach out to you and they're gonna throw money your way and say, like, hey, like we've got these awesome facilities, come here, blah blah blah. But it's interesting that D3, right? They're just kind of putting it on their reputation, really. Like, you should want to play for us because we have a good program and have a good coach. You can get a good education. Those are the three things. Like you come to me because you want this kind of.
Yes, exactly. And so like when I was going through the recruiting process for myself, I first did the college tours my junior year. I just went and did college tours based off of what I thought that I wanted to do and the area that I wanted to be in. And I knew for me, I didn't want to go really far out from like the New England area. I'm originally from New York. I was like, okay, Massachusetts, Vermont, wherever that's close. And so I went to Vermont schools. I went to some Connecticut schools, Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Those were the only places that I looked at. And I kind of, my dad told me when we were doing our school tours was like, can you see yourself playing here? But then can you also see yourself getting a career ending injury that you can't play hockey anymore? And would you be happy here? And like that was the main thing that sat with me is like no coach tells you that really like oh like what happens if this happens like that's more of something that you have to think about yourself because obviously they don't want to say like oh what if you get an injury at this dangerous sport that you're playing of course but like my dad put that into perspective for me and that was for me what I looked for is okay see myself as a non-athlete going to school if I got hurt but then add the athlete part to it then I decide so
It's really a huge decision for such a young
yeah
kid to make, right? Like you're putting there's so many factors. The factor you just mentioned, like you can't decide solely on athletics because anything could happen, right? So you have to want to do one of their programs. They have to have something you're interested in. It's sports don't last forever. Like most people, even when they retire from their sport, like the odds that you can coach at a high level and get paid, maybe announce at a high level, like not everybody does that. Most people go into the real world. They work in business or whatever. So like you've got to have that plan B, but you've also like you have to be comfortable with the coach. You've got to like the program. Do I like the facilities? Where's the location? Like you've got to make all these decisions when you're 16, right? You're 17, just learning to drive. You've got high school boyfriend or girlfriend. You're going to the prom, and like now you've got to plan your life out too. It's just really it's insane.
it's crazy it really is crazy
Like no wonder people transfer so much. Like because you just mature and like what you want might change. Like there's so much that goes into it. It's such a huge. It's hard enough to be a regular kid and just say like, where do I want to go to school? What do I want my major to be? Now add in the whole sports part. I'm so
yeah
glad I didn't have to make that decision.
I know it is like it is really crazy and like for me I did the transfer thing multiple times so like I know all of that like I know trying to be a 16-year-old and doing the recruiting process and then finding yourself at a different school like a few years later so I get it
Yeah, you started at Endicott. You didn't play any games at Endicott. Was that COVID?
that was COVID so my freshman year was 2020 unfortunately so yeah so my first year was at Endicott and I mean I loved Endicott was beautiful it's in Beverly Massachusetts right on the beach the campus is amazing and like for me coming from competitive hockey it was a great program too they had like won their conference like believe it was the year prior and COVID like it really restricted. We didn't get to play any games. Or actually, I think we as a team played 4 games, but I think it was just against Nichols and Suffolk both times. And it was like all spread out. It wasn't really like real games. You're not playing for anything, and I don't really think it even counted towards like our record. And like we weren't even practicing full team half the time. We were practicing in pods, and it was just kind of like, okay, well, based off of your class schedule, like, which was very strange because normally you base your class schedule off of your practice time. So it was kind of like, okay, we don't really care when you have school, like just come on the ice whenever you can. Make sure that you're wearing your mask, make sure that you're in separate locker rooms. Like we were in all the travel locker rooms. We didn't even get to go, me as a freshman going into Endicott, I didn't get to go into the locker room at all because half of the team already had their stuff in there. I think it was the sophomores and the freshmen had to move out of the locker room and go to the visitor locker rooms because of like sanitary reasons and stuff like that. So it was definitely like kind of crazy. It was like a really weird experience playing that after coming from like a boarding school where it kind of felt like very similar to college hockey where you go to class and then you go practice and then like on the weekends you go and play somewhere else. You go on a road trip, you sometimes you stay overnight, like the prep school thing. And so yeah, like so Endicott was, that was my first year, and then I came back my second year, and the fifth year stayed. My class stayed. Sophomores, juniors, we had like maybe 45 girls. So we all had to try out. And unfortunately, I didn't make the cut for that year. We had like so many like really good players, and that was like a really good program. And the freshman class that came in, they were unreal, like really good. Like I was like, wow, this, I don't know what you guys did during the COVID year, but like that was, and so I had to transfer out halfway through because for me, when I had that decision in front of me to stay and not be a college athlete or to leave and go be a college athlete somewhere else, that was like my biggest thing because like I picked a school that I loved and like that my dad told me in my head, he was like, if you can't play hockey ever again, like would you be happy here? And like that was my main reason for picking Endicott. And like I remember like having so many conversations with my dad, like, I love it here, but I also don't want to give up hockey because I can still play hockey. I'm still physically able to play hockey and I want to still have that. And I didn't even really get to fully experience a full year of real college hockey because of the COVID thing. So it was like hard decisions, but I inevitably made the decision to obviously leave Endicott.
Yeah, everyone's COVID stories are just crazy. Like it's
Yes.
so it sounds like something from a movie, right? Like a lot of it does. We're practicing in pods and like I don't even know who half of my teammates are. Didn't even really get to meet them. I've never seen the locker room. Like it just sounds so
Yes.
obscure like what you had to deal with. Um and it's not the full college experience, like not even close. I mean, I know like doing classes online, it felt so weird. It's like I'm in college, but like I'm watching everything from my kitchen table on Zoom. I'm not hanging out with anybody. I can't go watch any college sporting events. There's no events. It didn't, like I think of the seniors in high school that year, like at like my former high school, they didn't have a real graduation. Like they didn't get to experience like their senior proms all got canceled. Like all that stuff gets canceled, and you can't ever get that stuff back. It's really so. I mean, so the experiences that people had are crazy.
Yeah, no, it was definitely like a weird way to start college because even like the social aspect of things, it was like not meeting my teammates, but also not being able to like meet half the people in my dorm and like the people in my classes. You can't really interact with them because even though Endicott was in person and most of my classes were in person, it was like everyone had to spread out and like you literally were just showing up to show up and you didn't actually get to like be in class with the people that you're in class with. So it was very strange.
Yeah,
But I feel like I'm not the only one who like had to deal with that. Everyone like during that 2020 year, like you said, have different experiences and it's just that's how it was.
yeah. Just something we all went through. Something we can all tell our kids and our grandkids about someday. Like, oh yeah, like we all lived through COVID. We did all these weird things, and
Yeah.
hopefully we never have to do it again. Like.
Exactly.
So after Endicott, you go to Western New England, and you're there for a few years. The team. So when your first year, if I got this correct, looking at the years, you guys had a losing record, but by the last season you guys were there, you made NCAA. So huge switch over 3 years. I mean, that's really impressive in a college sport to go from being like 8 games under 500 to making the NCAA tournament in 2 or 3 years. Like that's crazy.
Yeah. So my first year was the year that I transferred in. So I was only there for half the season, but I had like watched games and I was like in touch with the coach. And when I came in, we maybe had like 3 lines, no scratches, no healthy scratches, and 3 lines. I think it was like 6D total. Like it was very crazy how small the numbers were because the recruiting time was obviously COVID. And so some of the people that wanted to come in for that 2020 year, which was supposed to be their first year in program history ever, some people left because it wasn't the college experience. So some of the numbers declined, and then having to recruit for that next year, not having a single game played, not having anything to really like show for yourself as a team, it was really hard for my coach, Katie Zimmerman, to like really recruit. And so our first year, I came in halfway through the year. We were not healthy. We had COVID going around our team. So when I say like healthy scratches, like we had nobody. Like at some points, we were playing with like 2 lines. Forwards were going up to forwards were going to D were going to forward. Like we were lucky that we had a consistent goalie throughout throughout this year because COVID was like still lingering during my sophomore year, which was 2021. And so it was like really hard for us to fully get a full roster. And then come in my junior year, we had a really good freshman class. Um, and they really kind of turned things around. And the thing about the Western New England coach, Katie Zimmerman, is that and normally a college coach, you work your way up. So like freshmen are the bottom tier. You're normally they're the kids who get scratched, and they have to really like earn their spot. The way that Zim does things is freshmen come in, and if you're good and you'll play. Like it doesn't matter. And like that was something that I kind of really admired about her, was like it doesn't matter if you prove yourself right from the start, and in September when you come for your first skate, like you're gonna play. It doesn't matter how old you are. And like I kind of like that about her style. And like we had freshmen who came in and like really ran the show, and like she didn't make them sit on the bench because they were 17, 18 years old. And like one of our, I think it was, yeah, that year we actually, our one of our freshmen got rookie of the year for the CCC, which is like really impressive going against a lot of those players who in the CCC, like it's a good D3 league. I mean, all of the leagues in D3, like you have good players going into any of them. And then we ended up making it to the semifinals, I believe, for the CCC that year, my junior year, and we ended up losing, going into the semifinals, which was even crazy that we made it to the semifinals, considering that the year before we literally could not seem to win a game. Like it was a celebration when we won a game, and then when we got to the semifinals, when we won the quarterfinals to get to the semifinals, I remember we were throwing our gloves up like we won the Stanley Cup. Like it was an amazing feeling to go from that to that, and then like to think that, oh, we had the chance of maybe even going to the CCC championship that year. And like obviously it didn't happen for us, but we were so close, and that was like a big win for us. And then my senior year, another really good freshman class came in, and our players who had been there were really excelling. And it was like really cool to see everybody click and to like be that this was also our first year where we had healthy scratches, where we had a lot of competition where you really have to fight for your spot. It's not a 100% chance that you're going to have your name on that roster for that game that weekend. You had to really like practices were battles, lines were changing all the time. It was like so cool. It felt like the real like this is a real team. This is like a full-blown college experience. This is what everyone really talks about when it comes to like this is competition all the time, not just on the weekends when you're playing games. It's like every practice. And that was like what I really think brought us to the next level that next year. And we were just winning games and scoring goals, and everyone was really contributing. And it was like really cool. And I remember we were really close with I believe the rankings for that year was Endicott was number one, we were number two, Curry College, which was also the same year, like they came in the same year as us, brand new program. They were number three, and Curry had to play Endicott in the semifinals, and we were all like worried, like very worried, because Endicott, they're a tough team, and every year they put up a good fight in the CCC championship, and it's like they won the year prior, and then we were like, okay, someone's got to take them down, someone's got to do it, and Curry ended up beating them, and we were like, oh my gosh, we had home territory on the CCC championship day, and the crowd was crazy, and like it was just like filled, like never seen Olympia Ice Center so filled, and like the energy was so high, and like we had goal scorers going out there and doing their thing, and everyone on our bench was going crazy. And like the one thing about our team was our coach always said to us, we have to have Benergy, which is bench energy mixed together, and that was like her word. And if we didn't have Benergy, then we were losing. Like that was her thing. Like if she would come in and we'd be playing an amazing game, but if we didn't have Benergy that day, she'd come in and scream at us about not having Benergy. Like it could literally be our best game, and it was because it meant that the people who are on the bench are not supporting the people who are on the ice, even if you're not out there every shift or every other shift. Like you still needed to be supporting, you're still contributing by having your teammates hear your voice, which I always thought was like part of the reason for our success. Was every year we were always supporting each other, and it wasn't a competition amongst ourselves when it came to game time. Like yes, compete when it comes to practice, compete to make each other better, but don't compete with each other when it comes to game time, and that you're a team. And even if you're not out there playing every other shift, doesn't mean that you're not still contributing. So I think like it was really cool seeing us like go up a level every year, and then to win the CCC was just like the cherry on top.
There's a lot of good stories recently of like D3 programs starting up and having success within like the first 5 years. And when people like, I feel like some people they talk about coaching, how important is coaching at whatever level? You know, the NFL, they'd be like, how important is coaching, or college? I think it's super important. I mean, if you look at the success stories, generally there's a coach that's got a great philosophy. You know, it sounds like the coach you're describing, she had a great philosophy. If you're the best, you're gonna play. It doesn't matter how old you are, right? We need bench energy, like all of these good ideas to help propel this program forward. You have to have somebody that can recruit. Like I mean, coaching is everything, especially at the D3 level. Everything you talked about, like there's not money you can give out. Generally, the facilities aren't as nice as D2 or D3 or D1 programs. So like you're putting everything on that coach. You have to have the right person. Um, I mean, coaching is so important at those levels. And then you hope too eventually that those D3 coaches will get their chance to move up, see what they can do at a higher level, right? If they can do that, if they can take a small D3 program and in a matter of years, they can go from like, we barely have enough kids to play and we're losing games to now we're winning our conference and we're going to the NCAA and like we're recruiting. And and we've got a successful program, like who knows what they could do at higher levels.
Yeah, I always like Coach Zimmerman was always like my favorite coach because she was just had that philosophy, and like we had a team contract that we signed before every season just to like agree on like this is what we're doing. This is we have to be a team in every aspect of things, whether that's like if you're late to things or if you're not participating in team activities or whatever. And like I always that was like something that was new to me. Like Endicott, we didn't have that. And like and that doesn't mean that one coach is better than the other, but like it was like very cool to see the difference between what makes two successful teams because you got a coach who is like bench energy is like what matters versus like compete at all costs. It doesn't matter how we get to the top. And so like but both are successful and I like I've always kind of like admired that about Coach Zimmerman and I've and like for me like I brought that every game, even like to my new school that I'm just at. Like that's always something that like stays in the back of my brain.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the new school that you were at, Anna
Yep.
Maria, which turned out to be like career year for you personally. Goals, assists, games, everything. Like the best. It's like the perfect way to go out, right? Like go out on top, having your best year.
Yes. So I my time at Western New England was like amazing and when they gave us our fifth year um for the COVID year, which was my freshman year like we talked about, um I was like ready to take it. I wanted to take it no matter what because of just the fact that I didn't get my first year and then I missed half of my first full season by transferring out. And I was like, I need to take this fifth year. Like, I want to stay at Western New England. And I was like, okay, I'm ready. I applied to the master's program and they ended up cutting my master's program at Western New England. So it was like, oh my gosh, I have to do something. I need to find another place to go. And this was in like March of my senior year and I was like, "Oh, what do I do?" Like I'm kind of past the like go into the transfer portal and like get recruited point because they most teams already have their full rosters and I had been like talking to my parents and talking to my brother and my brother actually played 3 years at Anna Maria College before he decided to stop playing hockey his senior year, but he went to Anna Maria College for his undergrad. And now he works there as the sports information person. And he was like, why don't you see if like what Anna Maria has to offer? And I was like, oh, like okay, like I'm like, oh great. Like my brother went to Huzak school, which was the boarding school that I went to before I went there. And I'm like, oh great, here I go again, like following my brother to another school. I'm like, great, okay. And I was like very hesitant of it, but I also didn't want to enter the transfer portal and I wanted to just sign a waiver and say I'm transferring my year of eligibility over to a school. And I was like, "Ugh, I don't really want to do the transfer thing again because like it was very stressful talking to schools and trying to find a place that's good for me. And I kind of just like full sent it. I was like, oh, you know what? Like it's it's a program that like at this point they weren't in a division. So like they weren't in a league. So they just entered the MASCAC this year. So like they were an independent team last year. So I was like, oh okay, like I kind of want to like work my way up to something. I want like I like the idea of being on a team that could potentially go to a championship instead of just kind of playing to kind of gain interest. And so I was like, okay, they're going to the MASCAC. Okay, that's really cool. Like maybe, yeah, I'll definitely do it. And so I ended up applying, and I went for this year, and I did my master's, my first year of my master's program, and it was definitely weird to be a fifth year on a team, and I was the only fifth year. So I went to a team where they had graduated one senior the year prior, and she didn't want to do a fifth year. So she just was like, no, I'm okay. And I came in, and I wasn't the only transfer, which I think was kind of nice, but I was also like the oldest transfer. Like they literally called me grandma at this school. Like
I was just gonna ask you that.
yeah, so they literally sitting here call me grandma, like all my Instagram posts, tag, oh my god, grandma, like and stuff like that. Like it's just like it was a funny joke. But it was definitely like it felt like real. Like I was like, oh my gosh, I'm like already graduated. I'm 22 years old. There's only like four seniors who are like close to my age, and like the rest of them are like they for me they're like babies. Like this is like me 4 years ago. Like I like half of them were incoming freshmen who like another this is like another team that's kind of in a building process. And I was like, okay, here we go. Like I kind of went in with the mindset of like this is my year to kind of just like be a leader and like have fun playing hockey. And like it's if it happens for me, it happens for me, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And like we went into the year and we had a full roster. We had a few healthy scratches, and it was like kind of the first time where I've ever had as many healthy scratches in a season. So I was like, okay, there's a lot of us. There's a decent amount of people on this team, and the practices were really good, competitive. Um, but this was the first time where a coach was like, you're my girl. This is like you're my power play person, you're my penalty kill person, you're my like forward. If I need you as a center, I'm gonna put you as a center. If I need you as a left winger, right winger, I'm gonna do that. And like I've never been put in that position because I've played at two teams where everybody is, you come into college hockey and everybody's the best. Like everyone is the best on their high school team coming into this team. Like everyone is on top. And so like I was like, "Oh my gosh, like this is kind of crazy," but it felt nice. And like I felt like I had a lot more opportunities to like double my stats for my whole college career. Like I've never scored as many goals, and I've never had as many assists, and I've never really had as much ice time as I did this season. And I was like I kind of like the the hockey gods sent me a gift by not like by cutting my master's program at Western New England and having me come to Anna Maria College to play my last year and like do what I did this year. And like it was just really kind of cool and fun for me to like do have this experience and be the oldest person on the team and kind of be like my coach's like right hand man in a way. So yeah, it was definitely interesting and fun. So
Yeah, a blessing in disguise, right? Like at the time, you're like, "Why is my master's program cut? What the heck?" Turns out to be awesome. I feel like that happens so much in life where like we something happens and we freak out, we're like panicking, but then like everything works its way out, and sometimes it turns out better than you could have ever imagined, maybe even better than if what you initially wanted. Like if that happened, you're like, man, it wouldn't have been as good as this was, or like who knows, like. But yeah, that's awesome that you get to go out on top. You got to be the coach's like main person and get more ice time and more goals, and really just kind of send off your college career in the best way possible.
yes, and it's definitely it was hard. It's hard. I mean, like I'm still in like denial. I was like trying to get a sixth year. I was like, so like, can I? But like, it's so hard to like say goodbye to this, especially with it. Like, it's good that I'm like going out with such a bang, but it's also like hard because then it's like, okay, I had such a successful season. Like, what if I came back next year? And what if I did this? Like, where it's like the back of your mind is like,
Going for my eighth year.
yeah, exactly. It's like so hard to like say goodbye to something that's like just so good. And it like a hockey season, it's so long, but it's also feels so short because you play on the weekends and like it feels like okay, yeah, it's just the weekend. You 2 games a week, but it goes by really fast. I mean, September to March, like it flies by.
Yeah, but hard to transition out of anything you've done for so much of your life. Like
Yeah.
hockey was your life for so long. Like whatever it is. Some people have a hard time transitioning from high school to college because like all they knew was like traditional school. If you play a sport for your entire life and now you're done playing it, it's like, well, what do I do now? Like, are you gonna play recreationally? Are you gonna like? Would you coach at all? Are you gonna stay connected with hockey in some way?
Yeah, so this year actually I am helping out at Anna Maria. I'm not necessarily a coach, but I am gonna be still around the team doing operations for them. So doing team film with them, potentially getting on the ice whenever I can. Just being an extra person. But I'm also still doing my master's. And I am planning on being a teacher, and so I want to really kind of continue maybe being a coach at some point, whether it's for the school that I work for, if they have a high school hockey team, or even doing a like younger league, whether I have kids one day and I decide that I want to be their coach, or just kind of being a volunteer coach somewhere. I definitely want to be a coach. I don't know if I'd ever want to really be like higher level hockey. I love it, but I'm also like, I have a career plan for myself to be a teacher and really and, like put myself in that because I love working with kids and I love being a teacher and I've done my student teaching stuff and I know that that's like what I want to do, and like being a coach would kind of be like a side thing that I would like to do like on a Tuesday Thursday of like every week, like something like that. So but I mean like I love hockey, and I there's like the beer leagues and like the men's leagues and like things like that that I could definitely like sign myself up for if I ever wanted to. And like, I just know that there's like more opportunities now, and hockey's growing so much that I'm like, okay, maybe one day I'll have the opportunity. But for now, I'm like, okay, help out whenever I can and just kind of be a fan. I love to be a fan, but definitely just want to stay in tune with hockey.
Yeah, you can start that new chapter in your life, but also like keep hockey on the back burner. Like you don't have to turn the burner off. Just put it on low for a little while. Like experience other things. Like I talk to so many college athletes and ask them like, "What are your hobbies?" And they're like, "I don't really have hobbies because I don't have any free time." So like when you're done with your sport, as much as it's sad, it's like, whoa, like what am I gonna do with all this extra time? Like I could start a new hobby or I could like do something that I haven't done for years. Do you have anything that like you're like excited to be able to do again with like extra free time?
Oh gosh, I'm excited to like actually be able to read again. I'm an English major, and like once I'm done with like school and like being on the bus all the time traveling, because I can't read on the bus, like that is I get car sick. So I'm like actually happy to like sit down and read, and like I've already kind of like gotten into that a little bit this summer, like sitting at the beach and reading. But like yeah, I love a good like romance book or like anything like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, the reading in cars, you either can or you can't. Like
no,
when I was young, I haven't tried it recently. I don't know. Like when I was a kid, I could do it. Now I'd honestly be afraid to. I don't know if I like. I
yeah,
feel like sometimes you can do that stuff when you're younger, and then as you grow up, it's like, no, I can't do that anymore.
yeah, no, I'm not trying to throw up on a bus ride or a car
No,
ride.
I used I used to be able to watch movies in the car. I can't do that anymore.
It's hard watching
Like,
all the time. I get such bad migraines in the car. I can only like really listen to music. I can't look at the phone.
yeah, yeah. Nope. I don't want to deal with motion sickness. I'll pass. So let's talk about just some like kind of random stuff as we wrap up the episode. Like I don't know, I watch like I see a lot of other podcasts and like the most conversations that go viral, they're just talking about random stuff. Hey, let's talk about music or like what's your favorite food, and that like video goes viral. And I don't know, I always think it's kind of fun to talk about just random personal like what music do you like to listen to with people or and like are you a music person? I guess that's the first question because some people aren't.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely a music person. Definitely.
What's your go-to?
My go-to artist.
Sure.
So I am like a huge Billie Eilish fan. Like I went to her concert in October. Like she's like my like for any mood, because I feel like she can be like, oh, you're kind of like in a sad mood, or like you want to like dance and like jump around. So like I really
Like
like
get the like club vibe.
yes, yes. But like I feel like my like taste in music is more like alternative and like indie. I feel like I kind of like the chill vibe. Like I I love a good like dance vibe, but like I also love like the lyrics and like sitting in the car with your windows down and like being able to kind of just like be in the moment, like that kind of music. Like I really love the Backseat Lovers and um like Joe, I think that's how you say it, the straight. Have you seen him, DJO?
Yeah.
Yes, the Stranger Things guy. I
Yeah, yeah.
his music and then I loved his music and then I like saw who it was and I was like, "Who what?" Uh, so like I love like music like that and just like or Rainbow Kitten Surprise. I don't know, do you know them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
I love them.
yeah.
Because like they're like also the type of music that like their lyrics make you think about things, but then also like
Yeah.
you can like dance to it. It's like I love
Yeah.
that. Like I just like kind of love like the deeper like things that make you feel different emotions. So yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, First Class is a great song by
Yes.
Rainbow Kitten Surprise. Great song.
Yes. I their new song Dang that just came out, I'm like every morning, like that's like my pump up song. Like I get ready to like work with kids in the morning and I'm like, okay, you know what? Like love it. So yeah.
I totally agree though. Like I I love hype music. Like sometimes for me that's like heavy metal. Recently I've gotten into like EDM, but I
Mm,
also like to just sit like I'll sit on the porch with some music and like it's got to have good lyrics like you were talking about like I'm a big Tyler Childers guy. Love like his lyrics are so like they really make you think and there's such a story that's going on. There's so many levels of music, right? Do you want to be hyped? Do you want to get the feels? Do you want to like what are you
exactly.
going for?
I know. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to have variety too, right? Like there's those people that be like, "Well, I only listen to country and I'll never listen to anything else."
Yeah. No,
Like, oh no.
I definitely I have to listen to everything and like anything that comes out, I'm like, okay, let me give it a try. Like I'm always like interested in new music and like I've got Apple Music and I'm always like listening to like the radio stations that they have of like, oh, different alternatives and whatever. But I am a creature of habit. I will listen to the same song until I get sick of it.
Oh, I totally do the same thing. If there's a song I like really get catchy to, I'll probably listen to it just nonstop, repeat over and over. Like sometimes I'll make a playlist and I will put that song on there like 30 times so that when I shuffle it or like click play, it just plays the same song over and over. And then like after a couple of weeks, I'm like, okay, like I'm over this. Like I'm gonna move on and find a new song.
Oh yes, I do the exact same thing.
Yeah. And then like the Spotify Wrapped comes out, and I'm like, oh, what a surprise! This song is number one.
Oh yes, I know. My homework song is always my number one. Like it's just like a like music, like orchestra music, just because I can't like I'm listening to music. I'm like trying to lock in an essay, and I'm like, oh, of course, this one like orchestra song is like has like 3,000 minutes of listening. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Right? You put it on your Instagram story. You're like, oh, I hope people don't think I'm weird because like
Yeah.
I love it. That was totally me last year. I'm so huge into Game of Thrones. Like absolutely
Oh,
love Game of
game's
Thrones.
so
So
good.
the music, I have a playlist because the music is so hype. And I listened to it so much that Ramin Djawadi, the conductor, he was my most listened to artist on Spotify last year. I was like, this is so random.
That is so random, but it no, but, like, you're so right though, the Game of Thrones, like, soundtrack is actually, like, really good. It really, like, sends it through your veins, like, it's actually kind of crazy.
Best show ever. I
It's so
love when I meet another person that knows it. Cause like some people are like, yeah, I've never watched it. It looks stupid. And I'm like,
crazy. No,
what?
it's so good. I can watch it, like, it's something that I'm, like, always, like, trying to put people on. I'm like, "I'll watch it with you." Like, "Do you want me to"
Yeah.
I'll sit down and watch it with you if you want. Like
Yeah. No, no, I totally agree. It took me a while to get my parents to watch it. And then like once I finally did, they were totally sucked in, right? They're
Right.
like,
Yeah.
it's so good. The characters, they're so deep. The character arc is, I mean, it's amazing. There's characters that you hate Well, in a couple seasons now, you like feel so bad for them, and you're like with them, and then you go back to hating them. Like the writing is so good that there's everything, zombies, dragons, all of it.
Now, yeah, even like it got to the point where I was like reading that like the character who played or the actor who played Joffrey like got like hate in real life because
Yes.
everyone like hates him, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like, but like that's how like real they make the characters and like how like deep their characters are because of that. Like it's crazy, but it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah, total so bingeable too. Like when
Yes.
my friend first got me on it, I'd sit there for like on a Saturday, I'd watch 8 hours straight of Game of Thrones because I just couldn't stop.
No,
It leaves you on a cliffhanger.
you have to know what's next after every episode.
Yeah. If anyone takes anything away from this podcast, it's that you have to watch Game of Thrones. That's all that matters.
Thrones.
Well, why don't we end on, I don't know, this is a question I like to ask. And generally there seems to be a couple popular answers, but like dream travel destination. Like if somebody was gonna pay, you can go anywhere. Money's not a question, just like where do you want to go for 2 weeks? Anywhere in the world.
So for me, like it has to be somewhere beachy. So like I've heard amazing things about Brazil, just about the food and just the environment of there, except the fact that there's like huge insects there. I like guess they're really big on insects. Um, but like I have one coworker who's from Brazil and she's like obsessed. Like she's like you have to go. Or like I would say like somewhere in Greece, or like if I really wanted to like really sit and chill and not really do like the touristy thing, maybe like Bora Bora. Somewhere where like
Interesting.
yeah, somewhere beachy, somewhere with like I hopefully like clear waters where I can swim and just kind of like relax.
Yeah. I I've never heard Brazil. A lot of people say Greece. That Greece is like one of the most popular ones. I mean, the water, right, it's so crystal clear. It looks
Yes.
amazing. There's so many places I want to go. I'll never have enough money or time to go there, like to all of them, right? Like if I had,
Where's your like number one? Your number one.
probably either Italy or the Maldives,
Okay, yes.
because like
I've heard good things about the Maldives as well.
for similar reasons, right? Like the somebody keeps calling me. What in the world? I keep hanging up. Like I'll call you back and give me like 10 minutes, whoever you are. But yeah, the beach, like that milk white sand, looks so perfect. The water, awesome. They've got those like little huts that sit up in the water, like
Oh,
so, and you like the slides that go down in, like you could like get out of bed and like slide into the water and the boardwalks. Like, yeah, I don't know. I'd love to do most of Europe. I've been to a couple countries in Europe, like, but I'd love to do most of Europe.
yeah, I agree. I've done some of Europe, but I would love to hit everything, of course, but you can't.
Yeah. Honestly, if you take me most places in the world, I'm not gonna say no. Like I've got my favorites, but like, oh, Spain, sure.
Yeah,
Poland, why not? Like let's go to Brazil. What the heck? Or
no, I agree.
some people say like Japan or Thailand. It's like, yeah, sometimes I don't even think of it like that. That'd be sweet.
Yeah, it would be cool.
Australia, great.
Yeah, really long plane ride, sure.
Yeah, I know. That's the other thing about traveling. It's like, man, you gotta 12 hours of travel and
And locked knees and like
yeah.
your legs after a while.
And then you got jet lag, but
Oh
it's
yeah,
worth it, right? It's worth it.
it's definitely worth it. I agree.
Well, awesome. Well, Emma, I appreciate you coming on the podcast, fighting through the technical difficulties. We persevered and we
Yeah,
made it through.
I love it. Yeah, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. This is great.
Thanks for listening. Please stay tuned for more episodes soon.